Hi everyone, I'm Maggie Weldon from maggiescrochet.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this adorable hat using Premier Suede Circles yarn. And the designer of this hat got very creative in their use of colors, and I really think it lends a lot of character to this design. I love the way it starts out with like Cloudy Night at the top. And then there's, I think this one's called Cinnamon Spice right here. And then this is like an autumn color, which is right here. And I know that this one's called Oceanic. So I really think it's really cute. It's crocheted with a size G crochet hook, which is a little bit tight for circles yarn, but you want it to be tighter for this project. And you just start from the top and you make a big double crochet circle. And then you go in the back loop here and you crochet down even, and then you go in the front loop here to make the brim of the hat. It's really not that difficult of a project, but it really comes out super cute. So the links to everything are listed below, and now I'm going to go to a close-up and show you how to make this adorable hat. Here's a close-up of the Madison hat, and it's created by crocheting a big circle at the top and then going down the side and then creating a rim. And 4 colors of suede circles were used in this project, and those are Cloudy Night for the top, Cinnamon Spice for this band right here, this one's called Cedar, and this one is Oceanic right here on the outside. And then a few of the other colors are River's Edge, Cedar, and Rodeo. So let's get started at the top of the hat. To start the top of the hat, you start out with a chain 4, and then you join with a slip stitch to form a ring. So you insert your hook in the 4th chain from hook, and then you yarn over, draw up a loop, and then you'll notice that there's 1 strand there, and this here is the center of the chain 4 loop right here. And then you're just going to finish that slip stitch by bringing that through here. So I usually keep my finger right here so I know where I'm going to put all my stitches for round 1. So then you chain 3, and that counts as your first double crochet. And then you work all your stitches for round 1 into the center of the ring. And I also I wrap my end of my starting chain around the ring also, and I work my stitches over it. So I'm going to go down into the center of the ring and work 9 double crochet stitches. Okay, so I'm going to count my stitches now. This is counting as 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I'm ready to join round 1. And to do so, I insert my hook in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. So I'm going to go right in here. And then I'm going to yarn over, draw that loop out, and then draw that through the loop on my hook, and that closes round 1. Now the advantage of working around over the end of your starting chain is that when you get ready to sew this end in, you can tug on this. You don't want to tug too firmly because it could break the yarn, but you just tug it just a little bit like that, and that closes up that hole. And then you just sew the end in and secure that so it doesn't slip back out. So in round 2, what you want to do is chain 3, and that's going to count as your first double crochet again. And then you work a double crochet in the same stitch as joining. And so you see I joined to the 3rd chain of the beginning, chain 3. So I'm going to go back into the same chain. And there's 2 double crochets there, and then 2 in each remaining double crochet around. I got a little slip knot here where I don't want one. Here, we got it. Okay, back in business. Okay, so you just do 2 in every single one around. And then it'll be increased by 10, so you'll have 20 stitches instead of 10. No, I don't know why I keep getting slip knots. Okay, I'm going to go back on this one. And I'm going through the top 2 loops of every stitch. See, there's 1 and 2. On the top, I go underneath the 2. And you should always assume that that's what the pattern wants you to assume, to go underneath those 2, unless it tells you otherwise. And there are places in the pattern where it tells you front loop or back loop. Okay, so now I would have 20 stitches going around, and then I would join. All I got to do is insert my hook from front to back in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3, yarn over, draw that through, and then draw that through the loop on my hook. And now I have completed round 2, and I have 20 double crochet stitches. So now I'm going to continue on like that. I'll chain 3, and then the next round says to double crochet in the same space, and then double crochet in the next one, and then you're increasing every other one. So continue on with the top of the hat until you reach round 9, or it may be round 8, because in this pattern round 1 is written so that round 1 is the chain 4 and join with a slip stitch, but that really technically shouldn't be the round, it should be part of round 1. So work all the way up to either round 8 it will be, or round 9, and before the round where you're going to be working in the back loops. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll come back on, and then I'll show you how to work the round in the back loops and then change to the next color that you see here. So I have rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 done, and now on round 9, or it might be round 10 on your pattern. I'm going to work in the back loop, and to do so all I do is chain 3. That's going to count as my first double. And normally I always assume in a pattern that you go underneath the top 2 loops, but now for this is considered the front loop right here, and this is the back loop. So instead of putting your hook underneath both those loops, you want to just go in the back loop like this. So, and years ago, one of my crocheters taught me this neat little trick. And because this leaves kind of a hole here, you can go in the back loop and then catch the little loop that's behind the back loop. If you look, there's another little strand back there, and it's still shows up as a ridge on this side of it, and then you don't have that big hole like you do here. So this is just going into that one back loop, and this is catching an extra strand in back of the back loop. But I still have the same effect of the one loop being left on the outside. Now let me yarn over here. So right there. So if you just, let me see if you can see that. Like right there, if you go behind it, there's another little strand right there, and I push it with my finger, and so I'm actually going through two strands, but it still looks like I'm just going through one strand, the back strand, but it's just a lot more solid there. So you just continue with this all the way around, and then when I come back on camera, I'm going to join the next color. So just keep going in the back loop, and if you don't want to catch that back strand, you can just go in that one back strand there, or you can even alternate if that's what you want to do. You're not going to be able to notice it when you get done. So continue working around with one double crochet in every stitch around, and then I'll come back on camera to show you how to join a new color. At the end of the back loop only round, you just join with a slip stitch to the first double crochet like this, and then just chain one, tighten up the back chain, and then cut back here. That's what I do. And bring that through, and then it locks it. Now to join a new color, it doesn't matter which stitch you join to. So you start with a slip knot on your hook, and you just insert your hook from front to back through any stitch, yarn over, bring that through, and bring that through the loop on your hook. And then you might want to tighten your slip stitch a little bit more there. I mean your starting chain, your slip knot actually, and then you just chain 3, and that counts as your first double crochet stitch. And then it says after you change to your contrasting color, you chain 3 and double crochet into the same stitch, and then you just double crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so then you're going to double crochet around, and then when you get to this round, after 4 rounds going even, pretty sure that one, let me make sure. In the second round of the side here, you're going to also do 1 extra double crochet in the beginning. So you will be increasing by 1, and then each round after that, 13 and 14 is the same. Then you're going to change to another color right here, and then you're going to go 2 rounds in that color, and then you're going to be working in the front loops here. And by working in the front loops, it kind of makes your hat flip up like this a little bit. So if you look on the wrong side, you'll see the unused back loops from that round. And let me show you how you work in the front loop. So in the previous round, I showed you the 2 loops that you typically go under, and we worked the previous round in the back loop. So when it says to go in the front loop, you go in right here. So you just crochet in just the front loops like this, and then on the next rounds after that, it doesn't say front loop or back loop, so you just assume that you go under both loops. So that's how you do that, and then everything else is regular stitching, regular double crochet stitches, except for the edge right here is what's called a reverse single crochet, or sometimes it's called the crab stitch. So let me show you how to do that one. And typically when you're working a single crochet round, you are just, I'm just joining here. So you're just going like this and you're working in that direction. But with a crab stitch, you start out with one single crochet and then you go backwards. So instead of inserting your hook here, you're going to insert your hook in the previous stitch right there, and then like that from front to back. And then in the back, you're going to yarn over like this and bring that loop up like that. Give it some height there, and then bring that yarn over and bring that through 2 loops on your hook. And then you go back down into the previous stitch. You grab the yarn like that. You bring it through like this. You yarn over and bring it through 2. So it's like crocheting backwards. So then you go into here, grab the yarn, bring it out like that, yarn over, bring it through 2. And then you go into here, grab the yarn like that, bring it out like that, yarn over, and bring it through here, like that. So that's how you do the reverse single crochet, or the crab stitch it's called. So that's everything you need to know to complete your hat. And one thing I noticed that was done here is to fold over the last 2 rounds of your top, the top of your hat like this, and to go through with yarn and just stitch these 2 rounds together, and that's what gives you that cute little rim at the top. And I really like how that adds a lot to the design. So that is how you make this hat, and the links to everything are listed below. And thank you very much for watching.